Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing well today. Today, in honor of 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna be showing you how to make your own cologne of Mason Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. So for those of you who don't know, Baccarat Rouge 540, very popular fragrance, very popular. It was started in 2015, I believe, and the nose behind it is Mason Francis Kurkdjian, a very great perfumer, and it has notes of saffron, jasmine, amberwood, ambergris, fir resin, and cedar. Okay, so it's kind of a running joke in the perfumer space. There's not a whole lot of us out there, but we all kind of joke about how easy it is to make. And there's a reason why there's so many clones coming out about Baccarat Rouge 540 clones, because it's very simple, like extremely, almost laughably simple. And that doesn't mean that it's bad. There's plenty of great works of art that are made with 2 or 3 colors of paint. But it's super simple, so I thought, just for fun for you guys, I'd show you how you can make your own with either 4 ingredients or 6 ingredients. I'll show you the 6 afterward if you want to be a little more complex. But we're keeping it cheap, we're keeping it easy here. I just want to make this first cloning video, maybe I'll make a couple more, but this first cloning video will be just a simple one for you guys. And the 4 ingredient version will get you probably around 85 to 90% similar to the real deal. And then the 6 ingredient one will get you more like that 90 to 95% similar range. So to the point where, unless you're a collector and you're a very big fan of Baccarat Rouge, you're probably not gonna be able to tell the difference. So yeah, super excited about that. I'm super excited for hitting 1,000 subscribers finally. So before we, jump into the video, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you guys who have been supporting me along the way. I know some of you guys have been doing that whole buy me a coffee link thing that I've been doing. And huge shout out to the guys who have been here since the beginning. I mean, we're talking, Ray, Alan, Mike has been here forever, Russell's been here forever. So really appreciate you guys. I love how much you guys interact with me. It makes it more like I'm talking to you guys instead of I'm just talking to this camera, which is just kind of a weird experience, just talking back and forth with the camera. So you guys make it an actual great experience for me. So it's been a lot of fun so far, and let's jump into the video, okay? Enough chit chat. So first things first, we'll talk about ingredients. I'm really trying to keep it low on ingredients, low on cost. I know you guys don't have, you're not trying to break the bank to make a clone here. Otherwise you would just buy your own clone, right? So really all you need is a scale, and I'll put links to all these. I'll put some Amazon affiliate links in the description. I get pretty much most of this stuff that's non-actual fragrance ingredients. I get them all off of Amazon, so I'll throw some Amazon links. You need a scale. This one has to be, it can be really any. You can use the one I put in the link or any of them, but this one's pretty darn cheap. It was maybe 15 bucks, I think. It's a Maxis Dante milligram scale, and it has to be accurate down to the 0.001 grams, okay? It really matters. With perfumery, every little, milligram matters, okay? So get one of those. I use a 50 milliliter beaker, but it really doesn't matter. You can just, if you're trying to ball on a budget, you can just go by the dollar store and get some of those little mouthwash cups, little plastic mouthwash cups, just something that's not too heavy and it'll hold your ingredients. So really not a big deal. So then the next ingredients that we're going to be using to make the actual perfume concentrate, or the perfume oil, as you will, we're going to be using Perfumer's Apprentice. So they're located in Scotts Valley, California. So if you're in the US, I would recommend going through them. They're probably the cheapest. There's a couple other good websites there, but they're the cheapest and they usually get to you pretty quickly. If you live over in the UK, I know Pell Wall is another great company to order your ingredients from. Okay, so for ingredients through for the Perfumer's Apprentice, what you're gonna need is Hédion. This is an ingredient that's sort of like a jasmine type ingredient, but it's almost invisible, and it just boosts all the other ingredients in your fragrance. It's found in pretty much every single commercial fragrance in the mall that you're ever gonna smell. So you're gonna need hedione, lots of it, okay? Next ingredient that you're gonna need, you probably heard of this one, ambroxan. So these are crystals originally, but you can get it in DPG. I think it's diethylpropylene glycolate or something like that. It's just dissolved in some sort of a solvent. So, okay. So ambroxan at 10%. I'll put a link to all those as well. You're gonna need ethyl maltol, which is another crystalline powder, okay? Ethyl maltol is the ingredient that gives it that sweet, booming kind of cotton candy, sugar floss type of smell to it. And then you're gonna need Vera moss, which is a synthetic oak moss, okay? So it has the kind of the cedary, oak mossy vibe to it, okay? So those are the main 4 ingredients that you will for sure 100% need. If you wanna go a little bit further, then you can add ISO-E Super. ISO-E Super, I put mine in a little dropper bottle, but it'll come in similar containers to these. That's also found in pretty much every single fragrance that you'll find out there. They all have ISO-E Super. It's another boosting ingredient, but it has a cedar, sort of a soft cashmere cedar to it, smell to it. And then last but not least, you're gonna need some heliotropex, okay? Heliotropex is a synthetic version of heliotropin. And it's used in almond fragrances. It's kind of that bitter almond smell, but it's not as harsh as using something like benzaldehyde. So this is what they're using in Baccarat Rouge in the Pure Parfum Extrait. If you really want to go one step further, you can get some safraline, which has a leathery smell, but in very, very small quantities. If we dilute this down to around 2%, I would prefer if you guys did 2%, then it's gonna have a saffron smell. So those are the only 6, maybe 7 if you really wanna go that extra mile, but I would just say 4 for sure. These 6 if you wanna go that 90 to 95% similar route, okay? So I'll put links to those, and then I'll put a link to where I get my ethanol. It's just off of Amazon through Bell Chemical. This is hand sanitizer grade 95% ethanol. It has no extra smell to it. It doesn't have the distillation smell to it. So it's super pure. It has, no, it's not gonna taint your fragrance at all or anything like that because it's extremely pure. And in our atmosphere, you're not really able to get much more than 96% anyway, because some of it is gonna turn into water basically. So 95%. And then I keep it in a smaller little bottle that I got from the dollar store. You don't need to do that, but it just makes it easier for me because I make tons of them. But if you're making just one, it really doesn't matter. Just pour it in, okay? Do it however you want to do. So the scale, and then some sort of a small, maybe like a 10 milliliter container to put in, or if you want to make a 30 mil of it, just buy a little 30 mil off of Amazon. So I can put links to these, but there's prettier looking ones. I just use these because I run through so many samples of fragrances. So that's all you need. And some pipettes. You can buy them by like the 100, so like a 300 pack or a 100 pack. You guys probably only need 100 pack if you're just trying to do this one and you're not really trying to get into becoming a perfumer. You just want to make this clone, okay? So I'll put a link to those as well. So let's jump into it, okay? So first things first, we need to tear out our scale. So put our little beaker on there, and then press on. It's gonna automatically tear out, okay? So first things first, we're gonna add the hedione, okay? However much of this hedione you want, the rest of the recipe is gonna be kind of dependent on that. So we're gonna put 300 milligrams in, okay? So keep dropping it in, drop at a time until it hits 0.300, right around there. Okay, there we go, 0.300. We'll cap this guy up. Then the next thing that we need is we're gonna add our ambroxan, okay? That's gonna be half whatever you put for the hedione, okay? It's a lot, but this recipe is heavy on ambroxan, okay? Whether you're able to perceive it or not. So we'll put in 150 milligrams of the ambroxan, okay? So we're gonna drop it until it becomes 450. Ambroxan is so powerful, I can smell it from here. It smells really good. Okay, so we're good with that one. Now half of that is gonna be the Veramos, okay? So if you want, you can use a little scooper. The milligram scales come with a little scooper. If you don't have a scooper that comes with yours, I'm just gonna show you how to just kind of tip it in with one of your pipettes, okay? Not a big deal if you don't have all of the stuff that you need. I don't expect you guys to ball out, you know. So 150 divided by 2, we're gonna be putting in 75 milligrams of this stuff, okay? So until it hits 525. Okay, and this is what gives it kind of that stuffy character to it. This, the way it reacts with the Ambroxan and the Hedione, gives it that weird stuffiness to it. There we go. And then last but not least, we're gonna be adding in the ethyl maltol. Ethyl maltol, we're gonna put probably around a quarter of that. So let's just put in 10 milligrams of the ethyl maltol. If you want it to be more like a Ariana Grande Cloud type clone, then you can add a little bit more. But if you want it to be a little more true to the original, then add more like 10 to 15 milligrams, okay? So we'll put in 10. Okay. There we go, and we're just kind of scooping it in. It looks like sugar, almost little sugar crystals. Funky, huh? Okay, so that's that. If you want to stop there, that's fine. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take this number, it ended up being a little off, but 0.584, okay? If you want it to be 10%, right, we're gonna divide by 0.10, right? So then we're gonna get 5.85 should be the weight of the whole thing after we pour our alcohol in. Okay, so then we're diluting it down, and then we kind of mix it up a little bit and pour it into one of these bad boys, okay? If you want to go a step further and order some of the ISOE Super and the Heliotropex, which again, all of these ingredients, they're gonna be around $3 to $5 per little 4 milliliter bottle. So it's not that expensive. It's maybe $8, $10 more to add 2 more ingredients and get it closer to it. But again, you don't have to. I know you guys are trying to break the bank always, so you know, it's not a big deal. So we're just gonna add 1 to 2 drops of ISOE Super, depending on how woody you like it. But if you wanna be as true to the original, let's add 1 drop, so 0.020 grams of ISOE Super, okay? And then we're gonna put in 1 drop of the Heliotropex, okay? Let me get this little bit of the cap off. 1 drop of the Heliotropex, and this will make it kind of a little in between the Parfum Extrait and the original, okay? Because I know the original doesn't have the bitter almond, but I think it really complements it, and you won't notice it as much anyway, so it'll still smell like the original, okay? So now we're right around 0.631, okay? So if we want it 10%, then it's gonna weigh at the end 6.310 grams, okay? If you want it 20%, like an eau de parfum, which is probably what you guys want, then you just divide that by 2. So, you know, 315, so 3.150 about, okay? So we'll drop our alcohol in until it weighs 3.15 grams, okay? Perfect. And then we'll use one of these bad boys to stir it around in there. Really make sure that you're getting that the Veramos in, because it's a much lighter powder and it kind of clumps together a little bit if you're not careful, okay? So we stir it all around, make sure that all the ethyl maltol gets dissolved, because again, this is what's gonna give it the projection and what's gonna give it that air, that sweet air, you know, that sweet woody air to it. Almost like a candy floss thing. And I can already smell it from here. The ethyl maltol is kind of working its magic. It's a very, very simple recipe, but it's effective and it's almost addicting to smell, huh? It's a good fragrance. I would never pay full price for it just because I, as a perfumer, we know how much, you know, how easy it is to make. So I'm saving you guys a little bit of money, a couple $100. Make your own for, you know, 40 bucks worth of the equipment to make it, and this has been like a 10-minute video, so it's not gonna take you very long. So here we are, here's the juice. Oh, it smells good. It smells very similar to Baccarat Rouge. So we'll pour it into a little sprayer and then we'll enjoy it, okay? So you guys can make as much of this as you want, because the way I set up the recipe for you guys, just to make it easier for everybody, is you know, I did ratios. So it doesn't really matter if you mess up the first amount, then you're like, oh shoot, okay, well, I'll just divide whatever I poured in there by accident in half. And there you go, there's a little sampler of it. You can make 30 mils, 50 mils, 100 mils. You can make a freaking gallon of Baccarat Rouge if you want now, because you have the ingredients and you know how to make it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know I don't do a whole lot of actual perfumery stuff. I kind of talk about it, but I don't really show you how to do it. So I wanted this to be the first step into, you know, maybe a small mini series on the side. I'll still do reviews, but I want to show you guys how you can make them without breaking the bank, you know, just a couple of ingredients and make pretty darn good clones. So as time goes by, we'll get a little more complicated, but yeah, I thought it was fun. I hope you guys thought it was fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like Baccarat Rouge, if you don't like it, what you thought about, wow, it's that simple, or oh, I figured it was simple. Yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.